All right, everybody, welcome back. Our friends at the University of Guam's Mark Center are going to be showing a documentary film that you must watch. It was produced by Brandon Cruz, who recently got his graduate degree in history studies. Brandon, half a day.
Half a day, Jason,
And
how
happy,
are you?
happy mess tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's hear all about this film and everything, because documentary filmmaking is something that a lot of Guamanians are taking up, and you've got a very specific direction that you're taking with your project.
Yes. So the project is called Itinituhan, Rediscovering Fotna and Pontan. It's about our creation story. Growing up, as a Chamorro, I underwent a cultural identity crisis, trying to figure out what Chamorro is, what it means to be Chamorro. And so it was my goal, my desire to kind of figure it out. And during my journey, I decided that the most important way to figure it out is to kind of go back to the roots, meaning the creation story, and kind of understand it a little bit more.
Now, when you say the creation story, is this
the creation story
of Guam,
of
proper?
the Marianas,
okay,
of the entire
of the region? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and what did you find? What did your research bring you?
Based on my research, I found out that the names of the two characters are not Fuuna and Puntan. It's actually a misnomer. It was written the way the observer documented it based on their orthography, and over the years it was perpetuated based on how it was spelled. And because the Chamorro language didn't have an orthography back then, it was just perpetuated the way it was spelled.
Which basically was the fate of so many of our municipalities and the villages, and even Guam.
Which you have variations, like you have Ipa with a Y, Ipa with an I. Some people say Y Sangsung. Others it's I Sangsung.
Funny you wrote that, because I actually grew up on both of those neighborhoods. So I can very much identify with the identity crisis that we've had. And there's a lot of people who say Aganya versus Agatnya, Guam versus Guahan, and things like that. How easy or difficult, or liberating, I should say, was it to creatively take all of the research and everything like that, write it down, prepare it academically and everything like that, and then actually express that through a visual medium like film?
Well, I'm actually a research associate for the Ifan Lalayan Oral History Project under Master of Chamorro Chant Leonard Iriarte. And so my years of being a student of his led me to want to pursue this, and just the findings that we've had over the years, it's very fulfilling. It makes me feel more empowered as a Chamorro, knowing the fact that the creation story makes sense to me now compared to when I first learned about it in high school.
Now, I must ask, because most Guamanians, and specifically Chamorros, you'll get approached by this, I'm assuming, by your family and everything like that. Have you told the older generation of your findings, and how has it been received by maybe some of the Manamko, or maybe some of your relatives are a little bit older? Because with that generation, when somebody finds something either new or it's revisionist history and everything like that, it's like, oh, I'd like to share something with you. They don't always take it that well.
Well, with this particular story, I've had informal conversations with my aunties, my uncles, my grandparents, and for them, this story is unheard of. And in the film, you actually hear an interview with Sinan Frank Rabon, Master of Chamorro Dance, and he mentioned too, his generation, they weren't afforded the opportunity to learn the history we have today, because back then, we were colonized. We just came out of World War II, and now more information is being resurfaced. So today we're able to learn based on the work of the Micronesian Area Research Center, and their work of sharing what information was documented and being presented to the community.
Now, would you consider this, what you've learned from this, do you think this will be a stepping stone towards maybe, obviously, more film projects and everything like that? And what questions do you now have based on what you've already learned, and how do you take that going forward?
Well, based on completing this project, it's my desire to kind of go back into all the other historical literature and kind of reanalyze the information presented. Matau is actually the more appropriate term based on the linguistic breakdown. So you have variations. You have Fuuna, you have Puntan, you have Fotna, you have Pontan, but we kind of need to standardize it and come to an agreement that this is the term that makes sense in the language.
All right, well, outstanding. Well, that is going to be Tuesday, March 29th at 6 p.m. in the UOG class lecture hall. Brandon Cruz, once again, congratulations.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing work, and we can't wait to see you there.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned, everybody. We are back with more show right after this.